Hello and welcome back to Geek Feng Shui. I'm your host and game master, Bob Sellers Jr. Shout out to our friends at Cataclysm here in Castle Manorville, under pressure in Golden Valley and South by Southeast and beautiful Pine Island, where venues of similar nature near you. Family, pet, kid, fun-friendly, fun-filled, event-filled calendars to choose, or just go chillax. And perhaps take part in yoga at Saturdays here at Cataclysm, where you can limber up and do yoga. Because remember, yoga under the influence is nothing but pure entertainment. Unless you pull a muscle, I suppose, but that's what drinking comes in handy. Just saying. Check out my books at sellersjr.com, my overall website at geekfengshui.com, and this channel, which I appreciate if you like, subscribe, and setting the bell. Happy holiday weekend. I'm not going to be getting much playtime, but I figured I would do my now weekly Feng Shui of Assassin's Creed as I go through and play around with WoW Cataclysm and discover the true weight of being in the minority on a WoW server. There's a lot of people that are complaining in the forums about it. And it's like, you know, I remember those days where I didn't know what a PvP server meant, let alone what it was like to be in the minority, and I chose this time to do it. So I discovered how much people hate rogues. For the most part, I mean, 90% of the horde that I've played around don't bother me as long as I don't bother them. But then there's that 10% that
what do you have today?
if it's red, it's dead. They like ganking, even though it's not really gank for equal levels. So they might be a level higher. But
have you got a
I had a fun time with a hunter that I'm not going to name because I reported his name because his name, you know, they take into account when people have names that can be rather offensive.
See you soon.
This is borderline, and it's like, well, you know, he kept following me around. It's like, you know, I don't know what his deal was, but as luck would have it, there was a choke point, and managed to get him when he was done fighting something and hadn't healed up. Anyway, I was going to get killed by other horde because we were surrounded by him. I did. So then I got back and I was res quick. He got him a second time. It was hilarious. Back to back. You know, they get overconfident. Just because you're surrounded by friends doesn't mean they're going to sit around and enjoy watching you get spanked. As you saw, I did a video on the horde starting area. I may just play that one horde tune. I don't know. I really don't have the urge. It took me 7.5 years to play horde because for a long time you couldn't have horde on the same server on a PvP server. And I was a Kuwait. My great uncle fought in World War II and against the Japanese, and till the day he died. And you know, granted, that's a soldier who was in the army and seeing things up front, and I can only imagine war is terrible for both sides. And till the day he died, he could not wear or do anything that was remotely Asian. That's like me with the horde. I've played them, you know, I got to know the horde side, but I still equate the horde mounts to Japanese zeros, even when I'm flying on it. Nothing against the Japanese. That was a war a long time ago. But that's about the closest I can come to equating it with the Horde for me, from a historical context, I should say. I will admit it's a lot easier. The game I've found was a lot easier to gank Alliance than it is Horde, because a lot of the Alliance towns are more open to it. It's a easy peasy chicken squeezy. Didn't want to put him, I didn't want to pick him up, I wanted to loot him. For those that don't play well, where am I in combat with it? The characters you see will be in red if they're hostile or the other faction. Green if they're friendly with you. And I was joking when I flew into Hyjal first time. So flying into a Republican National Convention, which is the closest to politics that I will get to in this channel, hopefully. But it was all red. And they like to intimidate, so let's not hurt the characters there. There's a previous high-end area, PvP area, called the Isle of Quinay. We call it affectionately the Isle of Gank. It was our first attempt at putting both sides together in an area where everybody had to quest to get areas to open up. And the first time we flew in, way back when, it was like that. The whole island was red. And I was joked that there's a rule for in-town fighting. You don't want to do it because the guards will kill you if you're the first to attack. So the trick is to get them to attack you and then don't respond to it. So Gildy the town went and stood in the vendor on that, and the horde would come up and they would try to get the quest, and they'd click on him instead and boom, the guards would kill. He did that all day until somebody must have reported him, because he got contacted by a game master. It's harmless fun, given that we were outnumbered and outgunned as it was. But also with Cataclysm, you have underwater fun, which gives a little 3D element to the game. So you're not flying or running on the ground. You can go up and down without having to have flying. Skinning is definitely the biggest skill you can have, but you have to watch it because as you level up.
My eyes soon.
because so many don't do skinning and they leave corpses around for. And as you level up, their areas become more friendly to you, and what might have been a sweet spot for a while. I think that guy has a splitting headache, don't you? But anyway, Cataclysm, as much bad press as it got lately because of people look back at it, to be honest, I didn't have any real dislike of any of the expansions. The only thing I ran into was a situation that areas that I used to love to play in became irrelevant. The game just began too wide and fat. They've tried to fix it, but it is what it is. And you have people that try to be saying they're casuals, while casual players are people are like me that play for fun. I have so many characters I can go around each one. If I get bored of playing at high level, I go play the low level. I really want to, or something, I go to the horde side. But I've been in the gear race. It's worthless because you get really high level gear, and then the next expansion comes out, and the greens are higher level. And people like raiding. At some point, they will have looking for raid, which I thought was a good thing because there's a lot of raids that regular people don't get to see, regular players. But the real raiders get upset because they can't control access. And it does become like looking for group where you have 5 dummies, you have 20 dummies or whatever you have going in. I think it's only 20 men. Game crashed. Yeah, they're supposedly going to leave this Cataclysm alone for a year or more. We'll see. I mean, it's like a slow progression they did when retail is coming out and they're making people move. At some point, it would be nice if they just left it, but then people want to have the end game advancement. And to be honest, when Legion came out and the other ones came out, they just changed so much with the interface that it got away from it. As you saw with my video with leveling up at the new race on the Horde side, it took a long time to get through that area. You could take shortcuts and get out of there sooner. I believe I did when I was leveling in the past. But same thing with the Alliance new race. And there's demon hunters that come in, and you can only have one Death Knight supposedly per server. But that doesn't mean you can start one. So the idea is you transfer a character to another server, create a Death Knight, and transfer it back. And bada bing, you have two. Get back in here. Yeah, but all in all, there's a lot of different games you can play. Assassin's Creed's a lot of fun. There's a new one coming out. Highly recommend checking out if you can. It's worthwhile. It's a completely different environment than World of Warcraft. I played the tar out of it before I started the channel. I wish I had the channel going when I was playing because it would have been fun to show going through it. So I don't play it as much as I used to, but I haven't gone back to Diablo. It's one of those things that people will tell you they have rose-colored glasses, and I think that's true to some extent. I look fondly back at playing Diablo, but it's not the game that it was. You just can't go back to that. At the time it was groundbreaking, now it's not. I mean, I may go back and play regular Diablo 4, not hardcore. Hardcore was nice because of the challenge. Same thing with World of Warcraft hardcore, except World of Warcraft is really designed to kill you because of the novelty they have of the respawns. Even playing in Cataclysm, you sit there, you kill one boss and then one spawns. You kill him and another one spawns. I mean, it's nice when you're questing, but if you're low life and you're in a hardcore server, that's death in a box. Let's try this again. And there's a lot of different areas in this. You can spend as much time as you want in any game these days. There's areas that you can go into. Valhalla I haven't gone into on this channel yet. It'll be fun to do. I've leveled this character higher than she needs to be to finish a lot of the stuff. And at some point, maybe I will. We'll see as the mood strikes. Right now, WoW has kind of drawn me back in, and it's still as fun as I remember it, even on the short end of the stick as far as population goes. But I chose it this time. I didn't. There was a guy that posted how he was quitting because he got ganked 30 times. Well, if you're getting ganked that many times, go do something else in the game or somewhere else and come back. But, anyway, after that, being on that soapbox, we will say hello to our friends at Cataclysm Brewing here in Castle Manorville, Under Pressure in Golden Valley, in South by Southeast and beautiful Pine Island, venues of similar nature near you and yours. Family, pet, kid fun friendly. All around, great places with great themes and opportunities to chillax, play games, board games, card games, mind games, Fear Vulcan, or do yoga on Saturdays where yoga under the influence is still considered pure entertainment, particularly with photo and video evidence. Just saying. Check out my books at sellersjr.com, my overall website, geekfengshui.com, this channel, which we appreciate if you like, subscribe, setting on the bell, and commentary, which is moderated due to the trolls. They can't spell worth a tinker's darn, but they try. Every so often they cobble together a few words, and if it passes the sniff test, it will be posted. So anyway, see you in the next video. Happy holiday. I think I said like, hopefully I said like, please like the video, like the other video.